Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring Aurelion's Soul, the Star Forger.
Nothing kindles wonder like the beauty of stars.
After being tricked into servitude by the Targonians, the ancient celestial creator Aurelion's Soul waged war on their behalf for millennia, wiping out entire worlds and destroying mighty creatures throughout the universe.
I would burn the cosmos to catch Targon in the flames.
Now he sensed a weakness in their control, and has come to Runeterra to free himself and kill those who dared enslave the Star Forger. In-game, Aurelion's Soul is a sustained damage medium-range mage who punishes his enemies with his orbiting stars before flying out for distant ganks.
Impending doom. Exciting, isn't it?
Aurelion's Soul's passive, Center of the Universe, is central to his kit. It gives the Cosmic Dragon 3 orbiting stars that deal magic damage and apply spell effects to everything they hit. The stars orbit constantly and only disappear when he's hit by hard crowd control or dies. Also, Aurelion's Soul is the worst at hide and seek. Even when he sneaks away into the brush, his stars will still be visible if they orbit outside of it. This last note isn't technically part of his passive. Aurelion's Soul is a really long dragon, but his tail cannot be hit by skill shots. Aim for the face!
Tedious being.
We're going to wing it over to Aurelion's Soul's W next because it directly affects his passive. Celestial Expansion is a toggled ability, which when turned on, pushes Aurelion's Soul's stars out to their outer limit, firing up their damage and speed. It costs mana to turn on and drains his pool continuously while toggled, but can be turned off at any time for free. Finally, Aurelion's Soul automatically pulls his stars back to their passive position whenever he runs out of mana. Celestial Expansion is a deadly level 1 ability. Toggle it on and maneuver your stars into your opponent to handily win early trades.
You will know your place.
Next up is Aurelion's Soul's Q, Star Surge, which fires the core of a newborn star in a target direction. The star travels peacefully until either Aurelion's Soul reactivates the ability, or the star breaks past his outer limit. Then it goes boom, damaging and stunning all enemies close to the star's explosion. Here's the shiny stuff though. If Aurelion's Soul keeps pace with the star, and he'll get extra movement speed as long as it's in flight, he'll nurture it, growing its size as the two travel together. It won't do any more damage per target as Star Surge grows in size, but it will damage and stun in a bigger area. Use Star Surge to hold your lane opponent in place while your stars kill him. If you can keep pace with your Q, smart aiming will land the stun and let you sneak a couple of easy hits in. Aurelion's Soul's E, Comet of Legend, stars passive and active components. Passively, Aurelion's Soul builds up extra movement speed as he travels in a continuous direction. Small nudges left or right slow him down a little, while big turns will remove his extra speed entirely. Additionally, moving around in any direction builds up his escape velocity stacks, which go up much faster in a straight line, but are lost entirely when he takes enemy damage. Once his escape velocity is maxed, Aurelion's Soul unlocks his active, letting the big guy fly. On activation, he pulls in his stars and flies in a target direction, passing over all terrain and walls in the way. While flying, he can actually see and be seen over walls. Finally, taking damage from enemy champions and turrets, along with any action other than his Q, will drop him out of his flight. Take to the skies with Comet of Legend whenever you've got somewhere to be. Aside from ganking parts of the map, flying can get you over lanes that desperately need clearing too. And after all, you are a dragon, you probably should be hoarding gold.
Money? How barbaric.
Aurelion's Soul's ultimate is Voice of Light, which shoots out a long line of starfire in a target direction. The ability damages and slows all enemies it strikes, and knocks back nearby struck enemies to Aurelion's Soul's outer limit. Use Voice of Light to buy yourself some space when you're face to face with a dangerous enemy. Once you've ulted, you'll be perfectly positioned to fire off a Q before showing off your awesome star power too. No, that rhymes. Flying into lane with a huge star in tow makes for a pretty killer game, so always keep an eye out for opportunities to get your roam on. Here, Aurelion Sol deals a whole bunch of burst damage by landing Voice of Light just as a star hits, wrecking Caitlyn and setting up Janna's subsequent death by repositioning as Celestial Expansion turns off. Target selection is really important with Aurelion Sol's ganks, because once he starts a gank, he won't have any options aside from Flash for getting back out. Here, Aurelion Sol tries getting the jump on Lucian, only to end up stranded when his target dashes away. Even though he does end up getting the kill because Lucian forgets that stars hurt, it costs Aurelion Sol his flash and nearly his life. When laning with Aurelion Sol, always keep in mind how vulnerable you are once your enemies manage to get inside your stars. Anivia is a level behind and still wins the fight by first stunning Aurelion Sol so his stars disappear, then by positioning herself inside his outer limit. Even though he blasts Anivia back with Voice of Light, she's dodged enough damage to kill him with Ignite. Aurelion Sol's kit synergizes ridiculously well with Rylai's Crystal Scepter. Not only does it give him a decent chunk of ability power and health, its passive makes each star apply a slow that lasts until your next star, provided you keep the proper distance. Pick it up early and you'll have a much easier time sticking your stars on your targets. While Voice of Light can be a great offensive tool, sometimes you're better off saving it to disengage fights. Here, Aurelion Sol is able to cover for Zack's over-aggressive engage, knocking the grouped enemies back far enough for the big green blob to live on and flop another day. As they kite away, note Aurelion Sol's positioning here. By hugging the inside of his base wall, he's able to stay safe while repeatedly dinging Garen and Shen with his stars. It allows his team to re-engage and pick up a kill or two. Finally, here's Aurelion Sol in his prime, hard engaging from light years away with Comet of Legend and Star Surge, or positioning in such a way that he's able to whittle down the enemy front line while simultaneously zoning their backline. He basically single-handedly splits up the enemy team, letting his cosmic crew clean up the enemy tanks while he kills Lucian and Orianna for the ace. Thanks for tuning in to the Aurelion Sol Champion Spotlight. Please subscribe to the League of Legends YouTube channel and leave us your comments just below the video.
Never underestimate the power of...
Runeterra, am I right?